Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with the Dragonslayer. Today we are cooking Xima, which is a traditional African dish that they make in Mozambique. They also make it in lots of other countries in Africa, and it goes by different names in every country, and they make it slightly different in every country. I'm going to be teaching you the Mozambican way, which is Xima Celestial, which means Xima from heaven. The ingredients are cornmeal and salt and water, and that's it. So what you're going to do for a single person portion, you're going to take cornmeal, you're going to take 1 cup of it, which I already have in this pot here, and you're going to add water until it is a little bit stiff. And what you want to do is add your water and then mix it around, and you want it to be like a nice thick paste. Like that. So, and I'm going to make it just a hair thicker, or a hair thinner. And now, whenever you're adding your water, you want to add just a hair more water than you need because some of it is going to boil off. And you take this and you put it on the stove, and you're going to run the stove on like a medium-high setting, and then you cook it for 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer here. If you can see that. 15 minutes. And what you want to do is you cook it for 15 minutes, and for the first 5 minutes or so you stir it every once in a while, and then for the next 5 minutes you stir it almost continually, and then for the last 5 minutes you stir it continually, or it will burn to the bottom of the pan, and then it's a real hassle to get off. So I'm going to cut the camera, and I'll come back whenever I'm almost done with it stirring. Alright, we're back, and in true form, I somehow managed to forget to actually click start on my timer. So I'm just kind of going by feel. And you've got to stir this stuff continually or it burns to the bottom. But I'm going to call it pretty much good now. You can see it's kind of a thick consistency. It should be, if you do it right, it should be a little bit thicker than mashed potatoes. And I've changed around the heat on the burner from high to middle to low, back to high, and just as it needed to be done. And I also forgot to mention on the other one, or I forgot to show it, but I threw my salt in there, and I did just like probably about a teaspoon or 2 in the palm of my hand. And I just threw it in here right as I threw it on the stove. So, so this is the Xima, and what you want to do to serve it is take any spoon and dip it in water, and then scoop it, preferably a big spoon, like a nice serving spoon, dip it in water, and then scoop it up with that nice wet spoon and swap it down on your plate, and it'll make a nice little ball. And then the way that you eat this is you grab it with your hands. Oops. You grab it with your hands and you roll it into a ball, and you want it to be a little bit thicker than this, actually, so that you can roll it into a ball and it'll stay together. And then you dip it in your curry with your hand and throw it in your mouth. So that's the recipe for Xima as made in Mozambique. And tune in next time for another episode of Cooking with the Dragonslayer. I need to find like a good like Chinese gong symbol for that. Anyway, yeah. If you do happen to make this, using this video. Let me know how it turns out. And also I would recommend only serving it if you have a good recipe for curry, because this stuff is fairly tasteless. So you only want to make it if you have good curry to put it in, or beans, or something to serve it with. But yeah, bye. Alright, now for the serving suggestion, we're going to take a nice big bowl and take our pot of Xima. We're going to take our spoon, get it nice and wet, and get a nice big scoop and just plop it in there. And for the sake of argument, I'm going to do 2 of them. And then this is beans and curry, which I had in the fridge already, and I'll make a video on how to make each of these things at some point in the future. I just threw them both together because it's what I had. And this is not traditional, but I'm going to just spoon it over the top here and eat it like that. The traditional way to do it would be to eat them both out of the pot, and you would just break off pieces of the Xima and dip it in the beans and then stick it in your mouth and repeat, which is unhygienic and most Americans don't like it. So you can also do it this way and it works just as well. Now this is actually the end of the video. Goodbye.